لكن تحديت الظروف وخضتها وحدي صبورا مستعينا بالصلاة. كم مرة عصف الأنين بداخلي، كم مرة قد ذاق قلبي من أسى محن تمر، وكم كرهت مصابها.
Likewise parents, like, you know, when you look at the difference between a rich person's father and a poor person's father, which is majority, a poor person or working class father would say, get a job, get a degree. That's what they tell you to aspire towards. The rich man's father will tell you, invest in these type of assets. Look at these companies. Look at these portfolios.
He's seen big money. He knows how big money works.
Does that make sense? It's the frame, the mindset. So we realize all together, these are all things that are problematic. And then going back and looking at the problems with the brothers, in terms of their deen, akhi. A man can't get up to pray Fajr in the masjid, bro. Akhi, that's you're a weak man. Allah called men the ones who pray in the masjid, right? And if you can't stay true to your promises and you lie and you break oaths, that's not manly, because Allah said that's a manly characteristic. You can't provide for your family. Akhi, there's brothers that are saying, like there's one brother, he said to me, my wife, she doesn't respond to my call for intimacy in the bed, which is haram under circumstances, unless she's on her menses or she's sick. She's got no excuse, right? But anyway, I'm speaking to him, you know, he told me it's because she goes to work. So I said, Akhi, so tell her not to work. Tell her, keep back, relax, you provide. If work is getting in the way of her fulfilling her obligations,
she's tired after work and
right,
she's up early in the morning.
Then work does not take precedence of your husband. He said, no, she has to work, she pays the rent. I said, bro, she's got leverage over you, bro. Now that woman still has to feel the rights of her husband, or she can say, I don't want to be in this marriage, right? Because she's in the marriage, that's a right the husband has, right?
But she's got the right to not have to work. She's got the right to be provided for, which you're not doing for her.
And obviously they can go to scholars and mufti to find out a fatwa for a particular circumstance. But what I just wanted to take from this was the spirit of the problem. There is the gist of the problem, which is that, bro, you're asking her to fulfill your rights, but you're not fulfilling her rights.
Okay, so you're Dawah Man. So he presents a account of a brother who doesn't work and his wife provides, and he says, look, she's got leverage over you, which is true. Then he says, but she still has to provide intimacy. You're supposed to be Shafi'i, right? Do you know if the husband does not provide for his wife, she can withhold intimacy. She doesn't have to have sex with him. Right? You're supposed to be Shafi'i, right? And you don't even know this? As you can see on screen. So as you can see on screen, we've got the book Al-Muhaddab في فقه الإمام الشافعي by Al-Shirazi. And if you know that Imam Al-Nawawi did a sharh of this Muhaddab or Al-Muhaddab in his book Al-Majmu'. Okay, so just to educate you if you didn't know. Al-Shirazi al-Shafi'i mentions that if this woman chooses to stay after this man's unable to spend on her, meaning per the verse, الرِّجَالُ قَوَّمُونَ عَلَى النِّسَاءِ, that the men are the maintainers of women. So if he is unable to spend on her and she chooses to stay, she's not obliged to have sex with him. She's not obliged to have sex with him. And she may leave the house, okay, because what? Allowing intimacy is in exchange for maintenance. So if it's no maintenance, then it's not obligatory. Okay? So this is Shafi'i. What does Al-Bahuti mention? This is Sharh al-Iqna'. It says, وَمَنْهُ مِنْ نَفْسِهَا فَلَا يَلْزَمُهَا تَمْكِينُهُ وَلَا الْإِقَامَةُ فِي مَنْزِلِهِ وَعَلَيْهِ أَنْ لَا يَحْبِسَهَا بَلْ يَدَعَهَا تَقْتَسِبُ وَلَوْ كَانَتْ مُصِيرَةً. So basically he mentions that she has a right to remain in the marriage, but not allow him to be intimate with her. And she does not allow to have sex with him or reside in his house, and he shouldn't detain her or imprison her. Okay? Rather, he should let her earn money, even if she's obviously well off. And what does he mention? لأنه لم يسلم إليها عوض الاستمتاع. Okay? Because obviously, for exchange, for sex, obviously, he has to provide. So Dawah Man, stop talking about matters you got no knowledge in. This is inaccurate information, manipulation to a certain extent, because you are a jahil. Stop dwelling into matters where you have no knowledge, mate. You and your sidekick, the muppet, Abu Bakr, right, behave yourself, lads. Honestly, behave yourself.
Characteristic which I believe is feminine is argumentation. Like, as in, not even argumentation, but irrational argumentation. Like argumentation that doesn't kind of follow common sense.
Yeah, and there's no fruits at the end of it.
Because the Prophet said, نَاقِصَاتُ عَقْلٍ وَدِينٍ. That a characteristic that women have is that they are deficient in what?
Their religion and the intellect.
And the intellect. Okay, their religion because they come on their menses, or they are not able to pray their salawat, and then so naturally you're missing out on an act of worship, is going to decrease your iman. Of course, there's benefits to that, and that they can bear children because of that process. So, there's
pros and cons.
Yeah, good. But generally speaking, now when it comes, the second thing is common sense. Okay, common sense. A man who just, when you talk to him, when you have a discussion, when you have a debate or some kind of a discussion, you're trying to walk him down a path, and he's just lacking common sense, and he's just arguing. Like sometimes I speak
to the point of ridiculousness.
And honestly, bro, you think you're talking to a woman
or a madman. Either you're crazy or you're feminine.
Right? Yeah, you can put it like that. And Allah said about women in the Quran, وَهُوَ فِي الْخِصَامِ غَيْرُ مُبِينٍ. Like women are not the best at expressing themselves, because women are very good emotionally. They have greater emotional intelligence than men, right? So when you have better emotional intelligence, and you're not, and that's your strong point, and your strong point isn't necessarily linear intelligence or stuff that requires a bit more common sense.
So you heard Dawah Man in relation to the aql. Now again, he didn't quote the hadith in full. Let's go into it. As you can see on screen, we've got Sunan Abi Dawood. Ibn Umar narrated this, and he heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, "I did not see more defective, meaning in respect of reason and religion, than the women." And when the women asked, why is this? The Prophet ﷺ says the defect is because of the testimony of two women for one man. So it's relation to what? Testimony. Okay? And basically, in terms of memorization, because look, coming back to, think about it, the Prophet ﷺ saw counsel from Salama in relation to the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. So if it was to do with the lack of intellect, the Prophet ﷺ would not sought a counsel. It's to do with testimony. So quote the hadith properly if you're going to quote it.
ليس الغريب غريب الشام واليمن إن الغريب غريب اللحد والكفن إن الغريب له حق لغربته على المقيمين في الأوطان والسكن سفر بعيد وزاد لن يبلغني وقوتي ضعفت والموت يطلبني ما أحلم الله عني حيث أمهلني وقد تماديت في ذنبي ويسترني تمر ساعة